What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and I have a great video for you today. I'm actually going to be fishing here on Kentucky Lake, my home lake, and if you can't see behind me, it is flooded. It's about 5 feet above Summer Pool, but early last week it was about 3 foot below Summer Pool, but it was rising, and throughout the day I caught a ton of fish, mostly cranking and a few good ones on a spinnerbait. So I'm going to bring you that footage, and then at the end of the video I'm going to go over my equipment and setups and how I was using it.
I was over our last New Year party we had with Dad.
There he is.
Good?
Nah. First fish on the GoPro, Kentucky Lake. The old Spro LittleJohn. I hope it ain't a dink fest today. Just fishing some transition banks here. All right, little guy, smile for the camera. Be good. Number one, hopefully we'll get into a few Jaints today. I got my buddy Tristan with me. Tristan fishes for the high school team out there. So what we're doing, we actually started on the main lake, had a few bites. I decided to pull into this little pocket here, fish a couple lead-in transition banks with square bill crankbait. We're gonna throw some traps. I may even tie on a spinnerbait. Lake's coming up. It's gonna come up 2 foot today. A lot of rain down south and everything. So I'm trying to catch these fish as they're moving from the main lake into the bay. Next week though, we're gonna have some videos basically flipping in the forest in the spring. It's gonna be pretty cool. So we'll see if we can't catch some more fish. There he is. It's a leaf, I think. No, baby bass. Look at this big son of a gun. Boys, I tell you, that right there is a Boone and Crockett largemouth bass, but he had to get him some of all that Spro LittleJohn. Y'all just may see a dink fest. My friend grew up to be a jank. Another one. Got another one. Little guy. Look at it. Look at this. We have got another little guy. What was they eating? The good thing when you're cranking with 10-pound Sunline and you catch one that's 10 inches, you ain't got to worry about them breaking off. There's a good one right there. No, he ain't that big, but he smoked it. I stopped that bait on a stump and that fish smoked it. He just is not big enough. Kentucky Lake is definitely healthy when you got that many juvenile fish in the lake. Oh, I just got bit as soon as I cranked it down there. We may not catch a lot of Jaints today, but man, I feel like we're gonna catch the numbers. Yeah. We're just gonna have to weed through them. May have to change up my approach. There's another one. Yeah. He ain't much better. But they are liking this one. LittleJohn.
stand for a second?
Mm-hmm. There's one. Ooh, uh-oh. No, I don't think he's that big. I could be fooled on this one, but he's way out there. I said, they are absolutely eating this LittleJohn. Kind of deal here is that, you know, I keep casting and casting, and we're catching them, no big ones. But every time this bait stops or hits something, I stop it. I might twitch my rod tip, and these fish just seem to load right up on it. Tristan's got one. Oh, come on.
When I did that, I stopped it to give a little twitch, just you said that, and he hit it. That was a better one, too.
Yeah. We on them. We just ain't on the big ones. But you know what? When you work all day selling fishing tackle, sometimes you just gotta get out there and yank on them. Check my line here. It's good. Good old Sunline Assassin. There's one. Uh-oh. This is a good one. Yep, this is a good one.
Baxter over here catching.
Yeah. He's better than the last. Oh, that's what I'm talking about right there, boys. That's what I'm talking about. He ain't a jank. He might be a jank.
You want a net on that?
No, sir.
Forget how I'm with over here, Baitman.
The Baitman.
Catching them hogs.
He ain't a jank. But that right there is a solid fish on Kentucky Lake. Spring crawl. Just gonna have to weed through them short ones. I'm about to get hooked. Get some pliers. All right, Tristan, get a photo, and we'll release him. Not a giant. Thank you, sir. What's your nickname? We're gonna call you Aunt B. See ya, Aunt B. Dude, he crushed it. Crushed it. Dude, I fished a tournament with him and they're standing up for the flag and I look back and he's taking the shit off the back of the boat.
He'll do that, dude.
And splashing his butthole with water. There's one. Yep. He is not a big. Well, 1 3-pounder and about 10 of these so far. Just gonna keep on going. If you're getting bites, that's all that matters. Gotta have fun. God, had a couple. Must have had a good spawn a couple years ago. It's definitely recorded me talking about Jeff Evans splashing water up in his butthole before I caught that fish. I don't know if I'll get it out of my video. So I had just bought this skeeter, and we were fishing a tournament, and I found a bunch of fish in Poplar Creek, and it was about this time of year, and I was catching them on a buzz bait. And he didn't believe me. He's like, "Oh, I'll fish that tournament with you and show you." And then, national anthem. I look back, and he's back there, just dropping one off the back of the boat. I mean, pants down to his ankles, everything. I said, "You want some toilet paper?" And he just splashed some water up there and said, "No, I'm good."
How old was he then?
Well, so I'm 32. That was probably about 10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And we got third in the tournament. There's a big one right there. No, he ain't big. He just ate it good. God dang. A little bit farther off the bank here. Boy, they like them Spros, guys. These are the kind that send you to the hospital too. Boy, we almost doubled up. You got a good one, Tristan? A little better, a little better, a little better. A little double action on Kentucky Lake.
He's pulling. Man, that little twitch and pause, they're loving that.
Yep. Little runt. Double.
Got him?
Nah, something. Oh yeah, I do got one. Well, son of a bitch. Oop, pardon my French. Sorry about that, YouTube. Got this crankbait on a little stiff rod, and I really couldn't tell. I just called it. I said one of us would get bit. That's what it was. Another dinkosaur.
Dinkosaurus Rex.
Yeah, see this is the wash right here. Really probably too close to it, to be honest with you. There's one. Called my shot. Yeah, on the spinnerbait. This is the old accent, Purple Crush. And he crushed it. He just was not that big. There's a big one.
Big one?
Big one.
That big?
Nah. There we go. A little better, a little better. See, he choked that thing.
What?
Tell what I got here. This is an accent spinnerbait, little Keitech 3.8 swing impact fat, Pro Blue Red Pearl. It's my trailer. The color's called Purple Crush. Throwing on a 15-pound Sunline Assassin. Just slow rolling this thing on some of the steam baits. I'd throw a LittleJohn down, and that fish absolutely crushed it. And I accidentally blew up my reel. Cue the dumbass. There's one, good one. Right up on the bank. Man, I just pressed record.
Yank him in.
He ain't a Jaint. Woo! I actually saw that fish hit my spinnerbait. Yeah. Another one on the accent. There's one. There's a good one. Yeah. Could this be a Jaint? No, he ain't a Jaint. But he smoked it. Oh, man, how many of these we gonna catch today? That's why he felt good. He was hooked in the side of the mouth. White peanut.
That was awesome catching that many fish in one day, even though didn't really have any big ones that the camera was on. I've got to start bringing more GoPro batteries because later in the day the bigger fish started to bite, and I caught a couple really good fish on this Spro LittleJohn 50 MD, and I had to weed through the little ones. I probably caught 100 bass on this crankbait, and you didn't even see half of them. My setup a Daiwa Tatula 100p. That's a 5:5 to 1 cranking ratio. This is actually a custom crankbait rod. It's an MHX blank. It's a CB45 blend rod, 7 foot, very moderate action. You can tell this rod's got a lot of flex, bends very, very well, very soft, and I like it for these shallow crankbaits. A lot of times they can just load up on it really easy. Sometimes they get fooled though because of the flexibility of the rod. You'll think a small fish is a lot bigger, but when those big fish bite, you know it. The Spro LittleJohn MD50, again, that's one of my favorite crankbaits. I can cover anywhere from 2 foot to 9 foot. Spring craw, one of the best colors, but I won't get too hung up on color this time of year. As long as it's a craw pattern, it's got some chartreuse or some red, you're going to do really good, especially in these southern reservoirs. Before I freeze to death, let me go over my spinnerbait setup really quickly. This is an Accent 1/2 ounce double willow river special spinnerbait. It's caught a ton of fish for me over the years on Kentucky Lake. Nothing too fancy on this other than the color. I call this Purple Crush. It's on tacklefreaks.com. It's very similar to a table rock shad, a little more subtle. I paired this up with a 3.8 swing impact fat from Keitech as a trailer. The reason I like using that this time of year, it allows me to fish this spinnerbait really slow, because if I fish too fast, it's going to rise up, and those fish seem to really like it. When I was just creeping this thing right on the bottom, they would absolutely crush it. Of course, I had a drum wreck me later in the day, and it absolutely blistered the spinnerbait. I can't get it to run straight again. Now my rod and reel setup, very simple. This is an old school Revo STX 6.4 to 1. I cannot kill this reel. I have took it to the woodshed in the last 10 years. It still keeps going. I went 15-pound Sunline Assassin fluorocarbon. Again, that's my favorite fluorocarbon on the market right now, especially for moving baits. Paired it up with the Denali 6'9" Kovert LT spinnerbait rod. This rod's rated up to 1 ounce, so I can throw some big heavy spinnerbaits, or I can throw small lightweight spinnerbaits, but it has plenty of tip here. As you can see, if I want to make some short tight casts, I can be very accurate with that 6'9" rod. Guys, if you like the video, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, be sure to share it to your friends. Thanks so much. I'm over 3,000 subscribers now, and we're just going to keep growing. Be sure to join me on Facebook Live every Thursday night for live streams. And guys, I'll see you later.